Your neighbors from opposed Camaro Springs building team ask you to wake up. It's time to authorize your Camarillo City Council to toss out the New Urban West reconstruction plan for the Camarillo Springs Golf Course. If you or your neighbors haven't examined the facts about the reconstruction plan, please view all 3 of our video series. We're your neighbors, and we're not trying to sell you anything. One thing to be sure, the New Urban West reconstruction plan is not approved, nor is it close to being approved. False are their projections and exaggerations of new golf courses and freedom of flood insurance and new restaurants, and of course, a chicken in every pot. It's important to note the business relationship between those who are supporting the New Urban West project. Richards is an investor and an owner. New Urban West is a developer. If the plan is approved, New Urban West will buy the property from Richards. The third player is the advisory committee, who at one time was the Men's Golf Club. They work as the spokesman for New Urban West and present New Urban West plans and proposals to us, the homeowners. The mailers and meetings you may have attended were actually all under the cover of the Camarillo Springs Advisory Committee, which they have several names, which is an ad hoc organization who express the views for New Urban West and leave New Urban West free from any future responsibility for changes and deletions. Check your invitations and articles. New Urban West is never mentioned. The advisory committee presents themselves to the city council as the voice of the Camarillo Springs homeowners. However, the homeowners never asked for their assistance, voted or appointed them, nor ever knew where they came from or even who they are. They just appeared one day, touting the glorious benefits of the New Urban West reconstruction project. Again, the New Urban West marketing plan is to keep the homeowners focused on what's in one hand, the golf course, while the 248 homes, in the other hand, are mostly ignored. The oldest salesman trick in the world, and they're pretty good at it. Our opposed Camarillo Springs building team is now over 600 homeowners. Our website provides the factual support for all we present to you. Please join us in defeating this disastrous plan, not only for you, but also for your neighbors. We're now writing our update number 25, which will be released this week, and our recognizable heading is on the top of this slide. Our proposed team had begun a rollout of very successful meetings inside HOA clubhouses until COVID-19 shut them down. We're going to cover the mystical golf course in our third video presentation, but a hint, there will be no free golf course. Let's talk about these 248 homes New Urban West wants to build. As you can see, they will be built right in the center of the floodplain on a 10-foot high earthen pad intended to keep the New Urban West homes dry while diverting the floodwaters downstream. The golf course is built on an ancient floodplain. Many interconnected ponds support several species of wildlife. Other species, such as mule deer, make the open land and surrounding mountains their home. Here is the New Urban West wish list plan for the north side of the golf course. These homes will be 10 foot higher than the manufactured homes and only 200 feet away. The proposed flood control plan is complicated with lots of moving parts. We don't have that much time to explain it now. Please contact us for further information, and we'd be very happy to explain it at length. The plan must be understood before one can agree that it's sound. Flooding is the biggest concern for all of us, and our engineers are doubtful of this plan. The New Urban West graphic on the left represents the back golf course after being dredged out for use as a stormwater reservoir. Artists have added a golf course on top as an example of their hopeful plans. The graphic on the right is an example of how the back course is designed to flood when the Canal Creek rises during stormy days. The designers were pleased that the tees and the greens would be mostly above the water. Isn't that special? Again, the golf course is built on a floodplain, and so would be the homes. What is subsidence? The erosion of the earth between the surface, usually due to water activity. Place tons of earth and tons of construction on top of a floodplain with centuries of water activity, with aquifers below, and yes, we think there's potential for problems. Problems are exploding in numbers all over the U.S. due to suburban sprawl and greed. After 10 years, the builder is no longer responsible, and the city ends up paying for the damages with your tax dollars. Yes, it can happen to us. Fortunately, nobody was killed or injured in this Camarillo Springs flooding event. The city paid over $1 million in construction costs to curtail future events and pays over $100,000 a year to maintain it. Why? They originally approved the home construction, just as they might approve the New Urban West project. Did you know Camarillo Springs was once a large oil field in the 30s and 40s? This is the Ventura County map of abandoned oil wells located within Camarillo Springs. If you enlarge the screen on your computer, even more wells will appear. That is when you're on its website. One well is 5 foot from my living room couch. These wells have been dismissed as not pertinent by the advisory committee. As you can see, a Camarillo Springs golf course pond in the back of this picture, just next to the courtyard's homes. It's full of oil. It has been for years, and apparently it's too difficult to fix, as it's been repeatedly reported to the agencies. Neighbors report baby ducklings being marched down to the pond by their mother, where their maidens swim, just to perish in the oil slick. Poise will send you one last video within a few days, which will cover the controversial golf course maneuvers, wildlife, soil carcinogens, traffic, and what will happen if the New Urban West plan is rejected by the City Council. Meanwhile, please help us remove this threat to our community by first logging on to our website to learn more details and to join our team. From now on till September 20th, send emails, write letters, and call the Camarillo City Council requesting they remove the New Urban West project from their consideration. If you really want to help, contact the city and arrange to talk to the council on your phone and in your own home the evening of September 23. It's easy. They actually will call you. If you should have any questions, ideas, or suggestions, please contact us, and thank you.